ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाकाचर स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाकाचर स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। गंगा यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। ताय गौर प्रेमानंद। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada. After my class, I wanted to put that Prabhupada lecture and Bhakti Siddhanta appearance, a disappearance something. Okay. It is in Atlanta. So it can be now लगा सकते हैं ना फोटो से हाँ राइट यू कैन हियर आल्सो ना आफ्टर माय भक्ति सिद्धांत आफ्टर माय क्लास आई विल सो एवरीथिंग प्रिपेयर्ड ओके ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासां ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Chapter 26, the hellish planets. Text 37. It is a long text, so I just read myself once, then we will go to words meaning. Okay? Evam vidya naraka yamalaya shanti shatasha sahasrashteshu sarveshu cha sarva eva dharma वर्तिनो एकेचित् ओतिता अनुदिताश्चावानि पथे पार्येण विशन्ति तथैव धर्मानुवर्तिना इतरता इह तु पुनर्भवेतु उभय शेषाभ्यम निविशन्ति. Words to words meaning, okay? Evam viddha, of this sort. Naraka, the many hells. Yamalaye, in the province of Yamaraja. Santi, or Shatashaha, hundreds, Sahasrasaha, thousands, Teshu, in those hellish planets, Sarveshu, all such, Cha, also, Sarve, all, Eva, indeed, Adharmavartinaha, persons not following Vedic principles or regulative principles. Ekechit, whosoever, iha, here, uditaha, mentioned, anuditaha, not mentioned, cha, and avanipate, O king, paryayena, according to the degree of different kinds of sinful activities. Vishanti, they enter. Tateva, similarly. Dharma anuvartinaha, those who are pious and act according to the regulative principles or Vedic injunctions. Itaratra, elsewhere. Iha, on this planet. To, but, punabhave, into another birth. Te, all of them. Ubhayashesha bhayam, by the reminder of the results of pity or vice. Nivishanti, they enter. Translation and purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. My dear King, Parikshit, in the province of Yamaraja, there are hundreds and thousands of hellish planets. The impious people I have mentioned, also those I have not mentioned, must all enter these various planets according to the degree of their impiety. Those who are pious, however, enter other planetary systems, namely the planets of the demigods. Nevertheless, both the pious and impious are again brought to earth after the result of their pious or impious are exhausted. Purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This corresponds to the beginning of Lord Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Tata dehantara prapti. Within this material world, one is simply meant to change from one body to another in different planetary systems. Urdhvam gacchanti sattvastha. Those in the mode of goodness are elevated to the heavenly planets. Ado gachanti tamasa. Similarly, those who engross in ignorance enter the hellish planet system. Both of them, however, are subjected to the repetition of birth and death. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that even one who is very pious returns to earth after his enjoyment in the higher planet system is over. Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Therefore, going from one planet to another does not solve the problems of life. The problems of life will only be solved when we no longer have to accept material body. This can be possible if one simply becomes Krishna conscious. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vitti tattvata taktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti soarjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activity does not, upon leaving this body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode. O Arjuna, this is the perfection of life and the real solution to life's problems. We should not be eager to go to higher heavenly planet system, nor should we act in such a way that we have to go to the hellish planets. The complete purpose of this material world will be fulfilled when we resume our spiritual identity and go back to God. The very simple method for doing this is prescribed by Supreme Personality of God. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam. One should be neither pious nor impious. One should be a devotee and surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. This surrendering process is also very easy. Even a child can perform it. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. One must always simply think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One should become Krishna's devotee, worship him, and offer obeisances to him. Thus, one should engage all the activities of his life in the service of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantik Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Radvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalata Vishechakanvitam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutala Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pachan Nirvisheshunyar Pachatadesh He Krishna Karuna Siddha Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopecha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivas Vancha Kalpatarvesa Kapasindya Chapatitana Pavana Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Rishabhana Sadevi Pranamami Hari Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivas Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Bhagavad Gita English. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, this corresponds to the beginning of Lord Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So Prabhupada is referring Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Further he says, Tata Dehantara Prapti. In this material world, one is simply meant to change from one body to another in different planet system. So we'll go through the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Like a first chapter, Dhritarashtra asking, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayutsava Mamaka Pandava Shaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. Then in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Sanjay says, Tam tata krupayavishtam asrupurna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudana. Okay? We'll go into purport. Haribol, everybody pay attention to this. So Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, is the all contents of summarize. Whole 18th chapter essence is written in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So let us read second chapter Bhagavad Gita, first sloka. Sanjaya Uvacha. Tam tata krupaya vishtam asrupurna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudana. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind is depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna, spoke the following words. Okay? I think you will find introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says that Arjuna, being a pure devotee of the Lord, is above all ignorance. Okay? You have to hear. In the introduction, Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes that so this is the main point I'm trying to say. Prabhupada writes that he is above ignorance. But now we are seeing in this sloka what it says. Seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind is depressed, his eyes full of tears. Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. That I am trying to point out this. So Krishna putting to illusion. So he can speak Bhagavad Gita. So this is the main, these are all different points I'm trying to highlight. Let us see the purport. Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all sign of ignorance of the real self. Very, very important. Okay, listen. What here it's Prabhupada writes. We have to, Prabhupada always talk about difference between a material and spiritual. Whatever materially, that is material. Anything you discuss, that is all material. That is why Prabhupada is in the purport is writing material compassion. Lamentation, tears are all sign of ignorance of the real self. Very, very important. Ignorance. Material compassion, lamentation, tears. These are all material. Because, why this? Because of the ignorance. Whole material world is full of ignorance, ocean of ignorance. That's what actually Prabhupada taught all this knowledge. Outside Iskcon, nobody knows what is actually spiritual life. Prabhupada started speaking, writing, everything. Human life meant for self-realization. Human life is meant for, bolo? What is meant by self-realization? Raise your hand. If you know answer to that question. Okay, you said human life is meant for self-realization. That is good. Now I'm asking question. What is mean by self-realization? If you know, raise your hand and say.
It starts with the understanding that, am I audible? It starts with the understanding that I am not the body, I am spirit soul.
So here, self-realization it talks about. That means in Sanskrit also it's called Atma Sakshatkar. Atmanubhuti, Telugu. తెలుసుకోమంటున్నాడు నేనెవరిని, ఎక్కడి నుండి వచ్చాను, భగవంతుడెవరు, భగవంతుడు నాకు సంబంధం ఏంటి, ఇవన్నీ తెలుసుకో. దిస్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ సెల్ఫ్ రియలైజేషన్. Anyway, I can go on speak about so much understanding is their self. That's why I'm practicing since 50 years. Anyway, so here once again Prabhupada saying material compassion, lamentation, ignorance, all sign of ignorance of the real self. Real self means this is not a self. This body is not a self. Though we are acting with the hands, with the legs, with the mouth, but this is not self. Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says, third chapter, text 27. Prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. Haribol, you understand? Bhagavad Gita meant for the devotee. So every sloka we should try to understand under the shelter of the pure devotee. You cannot understand yourself by reading. Sadhu, Shastra, Guru. The three things are very, very important. అర్థమవుతుందా? బోలో తెలుగు చెప్పండి, అర్థమవుతుందా? ప్రకృతే క్రియమానాని గుణై కర్మాణి సర్వశ అహంకార అహంకార విముడాత్మ కర్తాహమితి మన్యతే. అహంకార, అహం ఆకార, ఐ ఆమ్ దిస్ బాడీ. నేను ఈ శరీరం. అందుకే మనల్ని ఏమంటారు? ఆత్మ కాదు, మూఢాత్మ, మూర్ఖాత్మ, బద్ధాత్మ. యు ఆర్ నాట్ ఆత్మ, యు ఆర్ మూర్ఖాత్మ. దట్ మీన్స్ యూ డోంట్ నో ఎనీథింగ్ అబౌట్ ద సెల్ఫ్. ఆత్మ గురించి మనకు తెలియదు. ఇదంతా ఇప్పుడు ప్రభుపాద రాశాడు. ఇవన్నీ ఈజ్ రియలైజ్డ్, అనుభవించి రాశాడు. మనం చదువుతున్నాము, బట్ వీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ రియలైజేషన్. థియరిటికల్ నాలెడ్జ్. యూ కెన్ రీడ్ హోల్ భగవద్గీత థియరిటికలీ. యూ కెన్ సే ఐ నో సెకండ్ చాప్టర్, ఐ నో థర్డ్ చాప్టర్, ఐ నో థర్డ్. ఓన్లీ థియరిటికల్ నాలెడ్జ్ వీ హ్యావ్. But this knowledge has to be practiced. That is the Iskcon meant for that. Practice. So here, in the purport, this Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, text 1, because in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writing Bhagavad Gita, whole, we have to refer Bhagavad Gita all the time. Like a Bhagavad Gita now. Today Bhagavatam class, but I am speaking Bhagavad Gita. Because Prabhupada quoting reference Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, what I am trying to say, yeah. So, further Prabhupada says, compassion for eternal soul is self-realization. Hare Bol. 3 times you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra loudly. Hare Ram. Huh? So, further Prabhupada says, compassion for the eternal soul. That's what I was asking right at the beginning. You, you told human life meant for self-realization. I was asking, what is self-realization? Now you will find this. Prabhupada says, compassion for the eternal soul. Haribol, compassion for the eternal soul. Who was compassionate? Srila Prabhupada, compassionate. Today, Prabhupada departure to America. Haribol. So much is there. Very limit time. Hey, कितने बजे बंद क्लास कब बंद हो जाएगा? 9 o'clock. So much is there. Now, departure to America, that is very related to this lecture. I was asking to put that lecture. Lagao. Bhakti Siddhanta Saras Thakur, Atlanta, Appearance Day. Prabhupada speaking. So you can hear a little bit nicely. This is very much related to Prabhupada went to America. Departure to USA. Sound. Atlanta. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Disappearance Day.
The following is the lecture on Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Appearance Day, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on 2nd March, 1975 in Atlanta.
Auspicious day, 101 years ago, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, he appeared on this day. So, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur is Gaura Shakti. Gaura Shakti means empowered. Empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted his mission to be broadcast all over the world. He desired পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদি গ্রাম সর্বত্র প্রচার হইবে মন্ত্র। পৃথিবীতে all over the world, as many towns and villages are there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that this mission will be spread. This prediction was made by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally 500 years ago. So, perhaps my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, attempted to fulfill the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometime the year 1918. He was a brahmachari of Lord Chaitanya, teachings and precepts of Lord Chaitanya, and in 1896. And he presented that book to the McGill University in Canada. And he very much desired that the foreigners, especially Americans, would join this movement.
The following is the lecture on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Appearance Day, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on 2nd March, 1975 in Atlanta.
Sri Gurun Vaishnava. Auspicious day, 101 years ago, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he appeared on this day. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is Gaura Shakti. Gaura Shakti means empowered. Empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted his mission to be broadcast. What is that sound? All over the world. He desired পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদি গ্রাম সর্বত্র প্রচার হইবে মোর নাম। পৃথিবীতে all over the world, as many towns and villages are there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that his mission will be spread. This prediction was made by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally 500 years ago. So, perhaps my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, attempted to fulfill the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and sometimes in the year 1918. He was brahmachari, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his material father, he wanted, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, of course everyone wanted, but he wrote one small book, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, teachings and precepts of Lord Chaitanya, and in 1896. And he presented that book to the McGill University in Canada. And he very much desired that the foreigners, especially Americans, would join this movement. That was his desire in 1896. And then in 1918, my Guru Maharaj started with this mission, one institution known as Gauriya Math. Perhaps some of you know the name Gauriya Math. And he was trying to spread this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by chance or by prediction, as you think, I was taken to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur by one of my friends. I did not want to go there, but he forcibly took me there. Yes. And he ordered me that you preach the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in English language. This is very much essential. On the first meeting, he told me like that. That was my first meeting with him. At that time, I was in favor of Gandhi's movement. So I said that we are, I'm going to say, not independent, subjugated. We'll hear about our message. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur refuted my argument. I was very much pleased. I had so many talks, but I was very much pleased to be defeated. That these so-called nationalism or any ism, they are all temporary. The real need is the self-realization. So I was convinced, but at that time, although he wanted me to immediately join him and spread this movement, so at that time I was a married man, young man. I was married in 1918. And I got a son also at the time, 1921. And in 1922, I met him. At that time, I was manager in a big chemical factory. So I thought that I am a married man, I have got so many responsibilities. How I can join immediately? It is not my duty. Of course, that was my mistake. I should have joined immediately. I should have taken the opportunity immediately. But Maya is there. So I thought like that. So that's a long history. And then in 1954, no, not 1950, 1968, when I was 54 years old. 1954, yes. 1954, I was at that time 58 years. So I left home and I was living alone. Then 1958, I took sannyas. And then I decided to take up the responsibility of my Guru Maharaj. I thought that my other god brothers are trying, so I am not capable to do it. They are better situated. But somehow or other, they could not do very much appreciative activities in this connection. So when I was 70 years old, I decided now I must do it and execute the order of my Guru Maharaj. And thus, this movement was started in 1965 from New York, and I was not very much hopeful because it is very difficult task, just opposite the European and Western culture. When I first came, I had no money, so I got a free passage through some Indian steam navigation company. So I came by ship. So when I was on the ship at Boston port, Commonwealth port, I was thinking that I have come here, I do not know what is the purpose. Because how the people will accept this movement? They are differently educated, and as soon as I will say, so my dear sir, you have to give up meat eating and illicit sex and no intoxication and gambling, they will say, please go home. Because that was the experience. One of my god brother, he went to London and he had the opportunity to talk with one big man, Marquis of Jetland. Marquis of Jetland was formerly governor of Bengal. At that time, I was student. He was Scotsman, and I was student of the Scottish Churches College. So he came to see our college, and he was standing in front of me in the second year class. So he is very nice, good gentleman. So he proposed to my godbrother whether you can make me a Brahman. So my godbrother proposed, yes, we can make anyone Brahmana, provided you follow this principle. No illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. So that Lord Jetland immediately replied, impossible. So I was thinking that I will propose something which is impossible. Anyway, let me try. So now by the grace of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and in the presence of my Guru Maharaj, you are so nice boys and girls. So in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are chanting Hare Krishna mantra and you are taking part in it very seriously. So my Guru Maharaj will be very, very much pleased upon you and bless you with all benefits. So he wanted this, and he's not, it is not that he is dead and gone. That is not spiritual understanding. Even an ordinary living being, he does not die. Na hannate hannamane sarire. And what to speak of such exalted, authorized personality like Bhakti Siddhanta. He said, I never feel that I am alone. Of course, when I came to your country without any friend, without any means, practically just like a vagabond. But I had full faith that my Guru Maharaj is with me. I never lost this faith, and this is fact. There are two words, Bani and Bopu. Bani means words. And Bapu means his physical body. So, Bani is more important than the Bapu. Bapu will be finished. This is material body. It will be finished. That is the nature. But if we keep to the Bani, to the words of spiritual master, then we remain very fixed up. It doesn't matter. Just like Bhagavad Gita, it was spoken 5,000 years ago. But if you keep to the words of Krishna, then it is always fresh and guiding. Not that because Arjuna personally listened to Krishna about the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, therefore he knew it. That is not the fact. If you accept Bhagavad Gita as it is, then you should know that Krishna is present before you in his words in the Bhagavad Gita. This is called spiritual realization. It is not mundane historical incidences. If we keep evam parampara praptam imang rajan saya vidu sakanena joganasta parantapa. If you don't keep in touch with the original link, then it will be lost. And if you keep touch with the original link, then you are directly hearing Krishna. Similarly, Krishna and Krishna's representative spiritual master, if you keep always intact in link with the words and instruction of the superior authorities, then you are always fresh. This is spiritual understanding. न जायते न म्रियते वा कदाचित नित्य शाश्वतयं पुराण. Purana means very old. Just like Krishna, the Supreme Being, he must be very old because he is the original person. But the Brahma Samhita says, Advaite Achyuta Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyang Purana Purusha Navajauvanam. Purana Purusha, the oldest person, but you will find him Navajauvanam, always a fresh youth. That is God. God is not a material that it gets old. The body gets old. So you are hearing this philosophy daily. Try to understand more and more. We have got so many books. And this is the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and by disciple succession, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then my spiritual master, then we are trying our level best. Similarly, you will also try your level best on the same principle. Then it will go on. Same principle. It doesn't matter whether one is born in India or outside India. No. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prithivite ache jato nagaradi gram, as many towns and cities and villages are there, he did not say it to make a fuss. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, that sometimes I am very much criticized that I am making foreigners a Brahmana. the caste Brahmins in India, they are very much against me. But this is not fair. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that all over the world his message will be broadcast, does it mean that it will be simply a cinema show? No. He wanted that everyone should become perfect Vaishnava. That is his purpose. It is not to make a fuss, some lecturing and uh, or some mutual praising society. No. It is Krishna society. Everyone who will join this Krishna society movement, he is more than a Brahmin. Brahmin, what is Brahmin? Brahmin is also material. A devotee is more than Brahmin. The Brahminical culture is included already. Brahma janati iti Brahmana. Brahmana means one who knows the absolute truth. Brahma. He is Brahmana. But that is not very fixed up. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabdat. Brahma is impersonal, effulgence, and then further progress, realization of the localized aspect, Paramatma, Antarjami, then finally understanding the Supreme Person, Krishna. Supreme Person, that is the final understanding. So, people cannot understand how the Supreme, the origin of everything can be a person. That is their difficulty. Because they are thinking, person God, how it is possible? God is great and He is the creator of everything. How a person can do that? Yes. That is the Vedic version. Ishara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of Brahma, He is the cause of Super Soul. So, ordinary man cannot understand. Avajananti mana mudha manasim tanumas. It requires Krishna's grace to understand. So try to receive Krishna's grace through the disciplic succession, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we'll understand everything. Jasya Devi Parabhakti, Jatha Devi Tatha Guru. This is the process, Vedic process. One should have unflinching faith in God and spiritual master. Don't jump over God, crossing the spiritual master, then it will fail you. You must go through. We are observing Vyas Puja ceremony, the birth anniversary of our Guru Maharaj. Why? We cannot understand Krishna without spiritual master. That is bogus. If anyone wants to understand Krishna, jumping over the spiritual master, then immediately it becomes a bogus. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Guru Krishna Kripa Paya Bhakti Lata Bij. That is Vedic in answer. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya Nobody can understand Krishna without going through his most confidential servant. This is the meaning of this Vyas Puja. You cannot surpass. If you think that you have become very learned and very advanced, now you can avoid a spiritual master and you understand Krishna. That is bogus. That is the meaning of this Vyas Puja ceremony. We should always pray Jasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasada. Jasya Prasada. Only by the grace of spiritual master we can achieve the grace or mercy of Krishna. This is the meaning of this Vyas Puja, offering obeisances by parampara system. So you have taken a very nice line of activities, spiritual activities. Of course, as far as possible, we have tried to give you instruction, books, but remain always faithful to the spiritual master and try to understand Krishna. And if you simply understand Krishna, then your life is successful. Janma karmam sadibam me jo janati tat. The human life is meant for understanding Krishna. That is the perfection of it. Any other so-called understanding, that is simply waste of time. Because we are under the grip of the material nature. You may be very learned scholar, you may be a fool, it doesn't matter. You are under the laws of material nature. So before finishing this small span of life, we have got this human form of life, it will be finished. As the cats and dogs' life also finished. But if we try through the Guru and Vaishnava, then we can achieve in this life the full success. Not failure like cats and dogs' life. That is the opportunity. So, as far as possible, we are trying to lead you in this line, and you kindly follow, then your life will be successful. That is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to deliver this fallen soul, the conditioned soul, rotting in this material world. Krishna himself, Krishna comes himself, Krishna sends his devotees, Krishna comes as devotee just to execute this mission to reclaim the fallen soul from the clutches of illusory energy, material world. Thank you very much.